This video is being recorded for ME415 Mechatronics. So for the wiring diagram used in this project, I had the light sensor hooked up to A5 and a 5-volt source. For the ultrasonic sensor, I had the trig and eco pin hooked up to the A3 and A4 analog pins and also a 5-volt source. And then for my LEDs, I had them hooked up to 330 ohm resistors and digital pins 3, 2, 11, and 8. So for the first event checking routine, the light event checker, I had the initial event status set to false since there's no change in state initially, and then I was detecting if the last state, which was dark, changed to the current state going light. So if there was dark and then it changed to light by crossing the light threshold, and if it went from dark to light, the event status would be true. I'd start 5 seconds count, and then the last state would equal the current state, and then we return that event status back to the light event checker. And if not, the last state would be equal to false. Sorry for the glare. The event status would be false. The last state would be equal to the current state, and then we return that event status, the false event status, back to the top, so we can keep checking for that change in state for the light to go from dark to light. As for the ultrasonic sensor, I had the last state equal to false, so initially there is no object within 20 centimeters of the sensor. So I was checking the event that initially there's no object within 20 centimeters of the sensor, and then it goes to detecting an object within 20 centimeters. So when this event is true, we go from last state equal to current state, turn that true status back to the top, and then if not, the last state is equal to the current state, we return that false, go back to the top, and keep checking for that last state for that object. As for the last event checker, the auto mode 2 minutes, so I had this one checking for if we were 2 minutes in autonomous mode. So last state is false because initially we haven't been 2 minutes in autonomous mode. So last state's equal to false, and then the current state's true, so this is when the 2 minutes in autonomous mode has happened. And if this is true, the last state goes from last state gets the current state, we return that true, go back to the top, and if not, last state's equal to current state, return that false, go back to the top. So we're just looking for that change in state, the 2 minutes in autonomous mode. Here's my state machine code. We start in idling state, so the only thing that's happening is that the red LED is on. Once that light sensor detects that we went from dark to light, we go to light detecting state, and that red LED goes off and the green LED goes on, indicating that there has been light. Once 5 seconds pass in light detecting mode, I could have used a delay 5000, delay 5 seconds, but instead I decided to use this 5-second timer you'll see in the state machine code because I thought that it was easier. But you could have done this state machine code with only 3 states. Anyways, once 5 seconds pass in light detecting, we go to autonomous mode, so the ultrasonic sensor is activated, and then we have these two events with services which lead to the same state. I just wanted to have the ultrasonic sensor, whenever it detects an object, that the white LED would go on, and whenever the ultrasonic sensor wouldn't detect an object, the white LED would go off. So I wanted that all in the same state of autonomous mode. Once 2 minutes pass in autonomous mode, we would switch to manual mode, the blue LED would go on, and the ultrasonic sensor would be deactivated, and that would be the end of the code. So here's the code. Here we have all the constants and pin definitions. I had the light threshold set to 5 because my light sensor was very insensitive. Here I have the auto mode, so this is the 2 minutes. We're going to be counting down using the timer from this, or subtracting with the timer. Then we have the amount of time required, so this is where I could have used a delay 5000. I used a timer instead, and subtracted millis from 5,000. You'll see later in the code. Here I have light detect time, so this is for the event checker. If it's false, we're going to set it to 0. And then same goes for this one, for that autonomous 2-minute time event checker. Here we have blue LED active is equal to false, so I have it true only when it's set into that state, into manual mode state. For everything else it's false, that's why I left it global. Same goes for the ultrasonic active, only when it's in autonomous mode is it ever true. And then event status is equal to false. This is for my light detection event status. I have it set to false. So here are the names of my states. And then here's the event checker for light detection. So last state's equal to 1023. It's initially starting in the light, because then we put on the box, which it goes dark and then it goes light. Here's the current state detecting the light level. And then here's the event checker. So if the last state is dark and then the current state is light, then we have that true. That event did change. And then here, this exclamation point just signifies like a NOT gate. It's just the reverse of event status. So we had this set to false earlier, so now it's true. So if this event status is true, which is if these are true, then we start detecting time, that 5 seconds of light detection, and then I have that event status equal to true, and then we'd go to light, we'd return that event status back to the top, and last state's equal to current state, so we just update it. And then if not, if it's still dark in the room and the last state is still dark, then that event status is false and that light detecting time is just 0 and we don't start detecting time. For that 2-minute timer in autonomous mode, we have last state's equal to false because we don't initially start in 2 minutes in autonomous mode. Current state is just the timer. For auto mode, we have what current time it is, minus 0, and it has to be greater than or equal to 2 minutes. So if last state is true and current state is true, then the last state's equal to current state, and we return that true value back to the top. And then if not, last state's equal to current state, return false, so that means 2 minutes have not passed in autonomous mode. For bool detect object events, so this is the ultrasonic event checker, last state's equal to false because there's no object within 20 centimeters initially. And then here we have the current state detector, so we have the measure distance function is less than or equal to the distance threshold, which is 20, and the measuring distance is greater than 0. So we have if last state is true and the current state is true, so that there is an object within 20 centimeters, then the last state's equal to current state, return that true, go back to the top. Last state's equal to current state. If false, if anything else is false, go back to the top and keep checking. Here we have the measure distance, so this is for the sensor to just give us a reading for this code back here, and the threshold is 20 centimeters. Here we have the state machine, so the current state is idling because we're not doing anything, so we just have the red LED on and everything, and the LED green off. And then we have the light event checker, so whenever this is true, we start that 5-second counter. So current time minus light detect time, which is 0, greater than or equal to 5. Once this is true, we turn on the green LED, turn off the red LED, and then we change the current state to light detecting, and autonomous start time starts. So we start counting to 2 minutes. In this case, so here I could have, instead of having this, I could have had delay 5000, but I chose this because it looked more clear to me. So this case light detecting, we have if millis minus light detect time is greater than or equal to light on time required, so this would be 5, this would be 0, and that's just the time that's happening. We activate the ultrasonic active equals to true if this is true, and then we change the current state to autonomous mode. Autonomous mode, we activate the ultrasonic sensor, and then here we have the variable distance, whatever it is, and then here is this function, and then here we have if the distance is less than or equal to the distance threshold and the distance is greater than 0 is essentially like that event checker. We digital write LED white high, so this is like like that state machine code I was talking about with those two arrows, turn it on, else we keep it low. And then here's my check auto timer event. So when this is true, we digital write. We turn on the blue LED. That blue LED active goes true, and then that ultrasonic active goes false, so it's no longer active. And then we turn off that white LED just in case there was an object in the middle of the state changing. And then we change the current state to manual mode, and then we're in manual mode. And then void setup, sorry if it's for it being so blown up here, but the main point is that the light sensor and the eco pin would be input since they're reading values, everything else is an output. And then void loop, you have the state machine running, so it keeps running infinitely. And that the delay 100 is just so every event checker and every sensor has time to update. Thank you.